Hey, aloha kako. Welcome to the second Q&A episode. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the series so far, because on my end, it's been kind of trippy to go back and relive all these experiences. And it's even weirder knowing that I'm doing it through a TikTok. But okay, before I proceed, I want to mahalo everyone who sent in questions, and feel free to go submit more in the Q&A form. But because there are so many good questions and due to time constraints, I'm just gonna pull up 3 questions at random, and whichever 3 show up are gonna be the ones that I answered today. All right, let's do this. Do you think the violent and turbulent lifestyle in Puna that you spoke of in Mokuna Eha contributed to the sense of optimism that you have today? How might other Kanaka gain that same sense of optimism? Whoa, loaded question. Mahalo. I feel like this would be a really good writing prompt for an essay. But alright, so first, I don't really know how other Kanaka can learn how to be optimistic. It's kind of a trait that I've always had. Sometimes I try and share that trait with others, and it usually gets mixed reactions. Some people enjoy it, and some people can even feed off of it, which I love, because then I turn into a happy kid, they turn into a happy kid, and then next thing you know, we're just like a whole bunch of happy kids.
We can't fight firebenders with fun.
You should try it sometime.
And sometimes people don't like it at all, which I get. There's a time and place for all that insane positive energy. But yeah, I've been told that my optimism can be annoying, it's irritating, gross, and I've even been told by a fellow Kanaka, who you'll hear about later in this series because Oya was in my college era, that it's manipulative and toxic. And to that I'm like,
oh, I'll show you toxic and manipulative.
This is so creepy. Sorry guys. Speaking of which, there was actually another question that somebody asked, which I guess I could slide in here as well. It was something like, how do you manage to stay so olu or pleasant all the time? And the answer to that is, I don't. In fact, I have a super fiery side to my personality that I tend to save for specific situations, and you'll get to see that come into play in a future episode. But to answer the first part of your question regarding my upbringing in Puna and it having to do with my current sense of optimism, I'd have to say, heck yeah. If anything, all those traumatic situations only sharpen my sense of optimism. I mean, there were times where being optimistic and hopeful was literally all I could do. And I'd literally cling to it so hard and use it to pull me through whatever stupid thing or person or persons that I was dealing with. You know, there's actually a Kaʻao Hawaii that exists with a character who has a similar sense of optimism. Go check out this puke right here. And be on the lookout for a character named Kua Paka'a. He's a good dude. And he can summon the winds. Question e lua. When did you start loving Puna? I like this question. You know, I don't think I became conscious of my love for Puna, especially for Waiakahi'ula, until my later years of high school. And it mostly had to do with the fact that as my senior year got closer, I knew that I'd be leaving. And up until my college era, I had spent all my other eras of my life in Puna. And you know, if there was a university in Puna, I probably would have spent my college era there too. Not that I'm trying to manifest that, because we definitely don't need any more development in Puna. Especially in Waiakahi'ula, there's so many houses popping up along the coast, and as per usual, none of them are Kanaka owned. But okay, last question for now. I know a lot of non-Hawaiians who have Hawaiian names. Is that okay? Many of them were born here. Okay, I'm gonna assume that this question popped up because of that one episode where I mentioned how I prefer to be called Noʻeau rather than my English name, and okay, I'm gonna stand up to answer this one because I'm getting kind of bored of sitting down and answering questions. But kind of like how I said in a previous episode, I'm gonna answer this on behalf of myself, Noʻeau Brian, and not on behalf of the Lahui. Now, I'm personally okay with non-Kanaka having Hawaiian names, but only because I feel like it gives that individual an immediate connection to the Hawaiian universe. And if you have that connection to the Hawaiian universe, then you know what that means. It means they also have kuleana to the Hawaiian universe too. And no, it's not the same kind kuleana that those of us who are genealogically tied to Hawaii have. That's different and would require another TikTok to discuss. But for those kind of people who aren't Kanaka but they get Hawaii or Hawaiian kind names, even if they aren't aware of their kuleana to Hawaii, those of us who have that ike can fill them in. And then we just gotta hope that they'll be open to the knowledge that we're sharing with them. And if they're not, then we'll Captain Cook them. Mahalo for your questions, and I'll see you folks in Mopuna e wano. Aloha.